what I have discovered is that love heals everything. So
Mm,
you just need to be in that presence of love, of unconditional love, not conditioned love, but unconditional love, and it will immediately heal these parts of you.
wow.
So, for example, when I meet the fear with love, when I meet those destructive thoughts with love, or when I meet being hard on myself with love, what I see is when I come to them in just a presence of love and not in fixing, changing, bettering, removing, um, it's almost like just that presence in itself is helping them to transform, if that makes sense. It's not like I come there and I push them to transform because they have to transform, because I can only love them if they transform into something else.
Right.
But if you just come with that love, something automatically shifts the vibration of that meeting, kind of, and how this fear and how this doubt acts also, because they feel loved.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I have a tickle in my throat. Um,
Yeah. It's
mm. Oh yeah, I
a
just
lot of
like,
high energies.
yeah, a lot of high energy. I just had to calm that down. And I think that that's such a testament to how powerful it is when you're saying love heals everything, because if
Mm,
you can if you can just get that automatic shift, and it doesn't have to be monumental, it doesn't have to be like, okay, your whole life is going to change, but in a way it is, because your whole
yeah,
being is changing, because you are saying, okay, I'm not going to hate these parts of myself anymore, I'm not going to block them,
yeah,
I'm not going to try to suppress them. And you can come to
yeah,
yourself with, like you're saying, the unconditional love. And that's something that I see a lot. And it's just like, I think people are dying to know, like, how do we practice it? Like, how do we access this for ourselves? And and
yes,
yeah, just loving the parts that are not so pretty all the time, loving the
yeah,
parts that attach us to our ancestors, to our primal instincts. It's really cool,
yeah,
because we all have this within us, and we all have, like, underneath all of our layers
mm,
of being a human, there is this intrinsic value, and this oneness that we can share. And
mm,
if we can just all
yeah,
kind of tap into ourselves a little more and realize that we do have individuality, and we do have things that separate us, but we do have so many things that unite us. And one of those
yes,
things, yeah, one of those things is the love. So it's really, really,
yeah,
it's cool. And I think that's how you and I connected. Like, it's, we, of course, we're having a beautiful conversation, but we've had this passion for helping other people discover things about themselves, and
yes.
love themselves more. And so I think it's really powerful that we're able to do this. And I fully believe I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to be front row when you're speaking to thousands of people. And I'm going to be like,
Yeah,
it's going to be
yeah.
awesome. So I think that you have really powerful messages, and I think that more people should hear your voice, because it is something,
Wow,
it's unique and it's special. So I hope you know that, just as a side note.
wow. Thank you so much. That really fills up my heart so much, and I felt like I really needed to hear that today. So thank you so much. Or like all of these so human parts of me needed to hear that today.
Oh, good,
I can say,
good. I'm
yeah.
glad. That makes me very happy. And now, are you
Mm.
so when you have, like, these down moments and these bad moments, do you ever feel like tempted to go into your old thought patterns or your old ways, or
Mm.
is it now kind of the shift has taken place and you're on the path that you're on and you don't really look back?
I feel like in the beginning, I would definitely a lot of times like uh shift between fixing and loving, because
Yeah.
it was so new for me to see it in this way, and can it really like help me to just bring love? Like that was some of
Yeah.
the questions that I had in the beginning. Um, but I feel like it's all about practicing again and again and again. And whenever I go into those old beliefs again, I will just remind me and say, hey, how can I love this? How can
Mm.
I love this? So it's kind of like I have like an understanding that it's sometimes hard to shift that because we are so used to fixing ourselves. We're so used to bettering ourselves and think that there is something wrong with us. So I have literally, I don't know how many times I've said this to myself, but I constantly say this to myself still now that, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. So that is something that I say again and again and again and again and again for it to like really uh, sink deep into who I am. And that's also like the main thing that I say in my videos. Also, like I just repeat this sentence like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you because I feel that's what we need to hear. We need to hear that there's nothing wrong with us because
Yeah.
I have certainly believed for a long time that there was something wrong with me for being human. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just it creates this like this split, this mental divide because we know deep down this is who we are. But then when we think
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to be changed, I need to be so much better than this, other people seem to like something that I would do a lot that's not healthy is just comparing myself like, oh, other people seem to have this down and why don't I? And then
Mm,
we don't know what other people have gone through. We don't know what other people have thought in their heart,
yeah.
in their head. So it's very humbling to be able to be like, all right, everyone has these experiences, everyone has like their own unique issues, but also we all have a lot of the similar ones, and a
Yeah.
lot of people, I don't want to say suffer, but just a lot of people experience the same kind of problems. And when we can
Mm,
all talk about it and be open about it and work through, then we can really just help each other. And it makes sense what
yes.
you said, like at the beginning it was you had to kind of remind yourself like, okay, how can I love these parts, because it was so
Yeah.
new. And
Yes.
yeah, now it's a habit, so it's cool, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It really changed to a habit. So I really notice, like, if it happens now that I went into fixing or bettering, I really, really notice it because it's in a whole different vibration than
mm,
how it is to bring love, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
now, since I have practiced it for so long time and I do it every day because I do self-love every day, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I will do for the rest of my life also because that's what truly, truly transforms me. And yeah, I had something to say, but I don't remember. Yeah, but like what I wanted to say was just that I feel really the difference now between fixing, changing, removing, bettering, and loving. Like I really feel it much deeper in my system. So whenever I do it, because sometimes we fall into old habits, and then I say to myself, it's okay. And I just like reassure myself like it's okay, like instead of being hard on myself for doing that. And so I just say it's okay. I know that you fall a little bit back into fixing again. It's normal. You're human. And then I want to ask again, how can I love this part of me? Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
how I would speak to myself if that happened. Yeah.
And when you say the vibration is completely different, do you feel, I certainly know the feeling of like an energetic shift and a positive change in that regard. Um, but I feel like I've been vibrating on kind of a low frequency recently. And do you
Mm.
feel lighter? Do you feel like more excited about the world, or like how does it feel to be vibrating differently?
Oh, yes, you definitely feel lighter. And for me, calmer. Whenever I am trying to fix, change, remove, anything like that, it's almost like I'm fighting. So
Mm.
I'm more in like a fighting state. I'm more like um my body is more tense. I'm trying to figure it out with my mind, how to fix
Yeah.
it. But if you just meet it with love and you say, hey, it's okay, it's like a more heart energy. So you're more in your heart. And I also feel like it's more calming to meet myself in that way with love than to meet myself with fixing and changing. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that is a very good point because then it also like, you know, when you're in that fighting state, then I think it certainly reflects out to the people that you're with, like
Yeah.
if you have a small disagreement or even just you're not liking how something sounds because of your own filters or your own fears or insecurities, then it's easy, like I've just attacked sometimes, or just
Yeah.
kind of exploded on whoever I was with at the time. And like
Yeah.
it's not fun because then the other person
No.
feels bad, and then you gotta, and then you think about it later, like something that I've done in the past is like I'll explode and then I'll think about it later, and you know in 24 hours I'm not mad about the same thing, but then there'll just be something else that'll come up I'll have all these like firings of negative energy going off because I'm still just fighting with myself. And everything truly, I think, is
Yeah.
a mirror. How you treat other people and what you see in
Mm.
other people is a mirror of how you treat and what you see in yourself. So,
Yes,
so I think it'll
definitely.
definitely like improve your relationships with everything, not even just people, but just
Yeah.
like your space around you too. Like if you just
Yeah.
if someone has like a continuously messy room or messy car or what have you, then
Mm.
it kind of shows like, okay, maybe you need to do some internal cleaning before you do some
Yes.
external cleaning.
Yes, yes, yes. And also that's maybe whenever you notice it in yourself, that when you are fighting others, and that there is a part of you which is fighting yourself.
Yeah.
So then you actually can see it in that way. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely definitely have had some issues with that, but I think that this conversation is and I know it might not seem like it might not seem like it, but definitely it's very transformative right now. Like I feel like I'm a new
Yeah.
person already, just since
Yeah.
we've talked.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And that it doesn't really need so much more than just being conscious of it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Just just trying not to fix, not to change, not to remove, not to better anything. Just like whenever you're noticing yourself doing it, just try to stop and just be with whatever feeling that is coming up. And I feel like that could be like maybe the first step also,
Yeah. Sometimes the
you know?
simplest solution, people knock it like, "Oh no, that sounds too easy." But the simplest solution is often the one that works.
Yes, definitely. And just being aware of it also, I feel like triggers a lot of change within by becoming aware of these things.
Yeah, becoming aware of them and like you're saying, not trying to better, not trying to change, just let it be what it is and let yourself be who you are. And
Yeah.
and you won't feel like you constantly have to be in this state of reparation and making your
Yes.
yeah, that's not a fun feeling. So
Yeah.
this is it's definitely like way more powerful to embrace your human side and embrace like who you are in more ways than just
Yeah.
what we see on the surface.
Hmm. Yeah, and I remember in the beginning when I got this knowledge,
Yeah.
I had another coach, and she was a mindset coach, and we worked on like my limiting beliefs. And after that call, I just felt that my limiting beliefs was so judged in a way, because I just felt this like, wow, okay, there is some limiting beliefs here, because she made me observe these limiting beliefs within myself.
Yeah.
And then she gave me like practices on how to overcome them and transform them. And I actually ended up doing none of the exercises that she gave me. And then I just told myself, because this was in the beginning, so I was like, okay, I have some limiting beliefs, but can I just be with them? Can I just sit with them? Can I just allow myself to have them? And actually, the next days, I felt like just being with them, I got to see so much new knowledge.
Mm.
And it was like there's nothing wrong with having limiting beliefs. I just like saw like my way of doing things is not to shift and remove them and thinking that there's something wrong, but my way was to just allow myself to have them. So I actually have had days where I feel like this is really a not good day, And
Yeah.
today I feel like I just want to lay in bed and I just want to cry and I just want to being my limited thinking and I just want to, you know,
Yeah.
feel everything that I'm feeling. And it's so wonderful to just allow yourself to have that day.
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
fully like transformed my view of it because before I would like notice it will coming a bad day and then I would like, okay, let's go into gratitude. Okay, let's go into believing in myself. Okay, let's go into reminding myself of all of the great things about myself, you
Yeah.
know? Like that's how I would maybe have done it before because I would say, okay, let's go out in nature because I know that whenever I go out in nature, I shift, you know?
Yeah.
So before I would like immediately think, okay, how can I shift this? But now it's like, okay, I'm noticing I'm having a bad day. Let myself just be in bed for as many hours as I want to. It's okay.
Yes.
And then in
Yes.
the end of the day, I feel a lot better because it's almost like all I got to be with all of these emotions and feelings and thoughts, and I just let them be. And when you experience them fully, it will come a point where it naturally shifts, where you didn't force the shift. It just happens naturally because these voices got to be heard,
Yeah.
these
These.
feelings got to be felt, and then
Mm.
it transforms. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so incredible because like yeah, it's when you think about it, it's a simple practice, but just hearing yourself and not trying to fix yourself, and that's probably why a lot of these things seem so hard when it's like, okay, here's what you're going to do, here's a list of things that you can do to better yourself and make yourself,
yeah.
change this habit, and they always, it never seems to work. And
Yeah.
that's probably because we're ignoring all of these really important signs within ourselves and these really important parts. And like you're saying, yeah, take a day, stay in bed, let yourself be sad, because I think when you take that day, then you don't have um that, okay, it's kind of like if you have to cry and then you don't let
Yeah.
yourself cry and then there's a lump in your throat, then you can have that lump in your throat for the next 5 days, just like on the verge, on the
Yeah.
edge, just waiting
Yeah.
to come out. But if
Yeah.
you let yourself give that big old cry and just let it out,
yes.
then you're
Yes.
good. And it won't be like in
Yeah.
the back of your mind, it won't be in your throat, like with you through the rest of the coming
Yeah.
week. You got it, you got it out, and you won't carry that pain with you.
Yes. And actually, whenever I do this, whenever I just allow myself to have a really bad day, the next day is a really great day because it shifts, and
Yeah.
and like all of the things that needed to come out of me came out in a
Mm.
natural way without me fighting it, without me trying to fix it. And it just like it all allowed to be there. And then when the time was right, when they got to express themselves as much as they wanted to, all of these different words, different versions, I mean, of myself, then they felt ready to transform or to go into a different state, a happy state, for example,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they got all of the love and attention and they got to express themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because you're basking in the bad feelings just like you're basking in the good feelings, because I'm sure, when you're feeling on top of the world, you're feeling like on such
Yeah.
a high on life kind of feeling, then you really want to harness that, and you want to feel all of it, and let it go for as
Yes.
long as it wants to go for. But of course, when we're feeling bad, we don't want to do that, but that is the key, that's the key
Yeah.
to harnessing the good feelings too.
Definitely. And meeting it with love in that way, and speaking those kind words to yourself, it really, it makes a huge difference.
Mm,
It really does.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it definitely like it definitely excuse me, it lets you know that no matter what, you have yourself, and
Yeah.
you're not alone in these feelings, because you know you've got your divinity, and you've got your internal voices that are like, okay, it's, you know, we got this, it's all right. You know,
Yes.
nothing bad's gonna happen. Like, let's just let this be what it is and work
Yeah.
through it.
Mm. Wow. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me today. It was really, really a pleasure to be here and to share all of this wisdom of loving the human.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. I really, really, I'm so happy that you're here. And this was
Mm.
such a wonderful conversation. And I look forward to
Yes.
staying in contact with you. And I think everyone watching this will benefit so much, so much. And
Yeah.
I'll put your information in the, you know, the description. That's what it's called, in the description, so
Yeah.
everyone can find you and see your beautiful work.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I just want to say to everyone who is listening that if they want to go deeper into loving themselves, please reach out to my to me. I mean,
Yes. Yes, yes, you should. You definitely should. Everyone watching, she's amazing. She's
yeah.
fantastic. Such a beautiful soul, and very, very in tune and tapped in, and can absolutely help you transform to the best version of yourself. So, thank you
Yeah.
so much, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Well, it's actually, is it like 7 p.m. there, or 7
Yes.
at night there? Okay. Yeah, it's, let's see, it's morning here. It's 12:40 here, so it's a bit of a time difference. But have a lovely rest of your night then.
Yes, thank you so much. I wish
Of
all
course.
you all the best too.
Bye. Bye.